Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Kimball Hooker Show. We're in season 3 right now. We're here with one of my special guests today, Mr. James Garcia, very talented musician. We're going to open this show up with a lot. There's a lot on the table right now for him to talk about, but for right now, I want to introduce him, my special guest, Mr. James Garcia. How you feeling over there?
Feeling great. It's good to be back in Los Gatos. Feel right at home after the last show that we did here. It seemed like everybody enjoyed it, and that's why we do it, right? To bring joy to the people.
Yeah, let's dive right on in. So you're multi-talented, obviously. You play multi-instruments.
That's right. So my grandma, this is probably where I got the musical gene. My grandma's a piano teacher. She sang in choirs in college and when she lived in Heidelberg in Germany. So really big classical background. So I grew up playing classical piano. Picked up the clarinet in elementary school, wanted to be in the jazz band in middle school, so I picked up the saxophone, so I play tenor, baritone, alto.
Nice.
Sometimes you'll see it at the show, sometimes not, but on special occasions I will bring it out. Self-taught myself drums and guitar also over the pandemic.
Nice.
And really in college, discovered that I wanted to be a singer as well, just because I had this crazy idea of starting like an 80s hair metal band with some buddies from my jazz band, and nobody wanted to volunteer to sing, so I said, hell, I'll give it a try.
Wow.
And that's when the magic began.
Right. That's cool, man. I mean, so it just kind of evolved over time?
Interests changed. I wish I had time to practice all the instruments, but you only have so much time, so I guess I go where the money is, and for a while that was playing saxophone. Like, I would do cocktail hours for corporations.
Okay.
I ended up becoming like a session musician, doing some recordings, also playing in like wedding bands in Napa, Sonoma County, which is actually how I met my current band.
Okay.
You Should Be Dancing. And we can get into a bit about that in a bit. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Speaking of that, so you do a Bee Gees tribute. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And people will always say, like, why Bee Gees? Like, you look really young. Like, you weren't even around when the Bee Gees were.
Which is my question as well.
So it was a culmination of a lot of things. I first was introduced to the Bee Gees after a 70th birthday party for my dad's godmother. This was a long time ago. This was when I was a kid. But he chose the song "How Deep Is Your Love" for this slideshow that he made for her with all the pictures from the event. And I was like, wow, what a beautiful song. And I've always been drawn to harmonies and falsettos because the first CD I ever got was the Beach Boys.
Oh, nice.
So maybe there's a theme with the bees.
Right.
But yeah, I was really drawn to the harmonies, and I'm a baritone. I have kind of a low voice, but God gave me a really high falsetto and not much in between. So doing like a Barry Gibb impersonation really was, I guess my calling. So I can sing Coldplay really well. I can sing the Beach Boys, Brian Wilson really well. So Barry Gibb was right up my alley.
Right. Everybody loves the 70s. 70s, 80s, great era. Era.
Absolutely.
So what's the brains behind like putting this whole project together with the band and the members? How did you come about putting all these guys together?
Yeah, so funny enough, I mentioned the wedding band that I became a part of. Kind of stumbled upon them by accident on Facebook. I was in a kind of I don't know what to call it. There's a page for musicians in the Bay Area. And if you're looking for work or somebody needs a sub, you can just say, like, hey, I'm available.
Right.
So that's kind of how I ran into them. Did a few gigs with them. They actually got invited to play at Bimbo's 365 Club in San Francisco for a really popular tribute band, Super Diamond. Shout out to those guys. They're awesome. They've been around for 30 years. But yeah, so we opened for Super Diamond, just opening act entertainment. And I was just like awestruck that, Super Diamond, I love their outfits. I love their commitment to the music, their love for Neil Diamond, and for how many people came out to see Neil Diamond. And I said, this is awesome. And I only know like 2 or 3 Neil Diamond hits, and I love them. But I know a lot more of the Bee Gees. And I just happened to be being fed an algorithm, I guess, on YouTube. Like every time I went on YouTube, I was getting fed Bee Gees videos.
Oh, wow.
And like the timing of everything just kind of gave me the idea. So I went up to the guys and I said, hey, like, would you guys be interested in maybe doing a Bee Gees tribute? And they're kind of like, oh, yeah, sure. They didn't think it was going to blow up to be what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
But we did our first performance ever, and we had a sold out show.
Oh, nice.
And I was just blown away by like how many people came together and had a love of the Bee Gees. And it inspired me so much, I actually quit my job. I said, this is it. Like, I want to do Bee Gees full time.
Wow. That's big.
And there were a lot of sacrifices involved. So, you know, being in the Bay Area, it's obviously very expensive. You know, I don't want to be that guy who lived with his grandma in her basement, but that was me. I lived in my grandma's basement trying to save money,
Right.
so I could eventually buy a home, and that's kind of what's happened. I recently got engaged.
Nice.
My fiance and I just moved into a condo, so now we're fully
Congratulations. Congratulations. That's big.
Thank you. But yeah, I worked in tech, was lucky enough to get a job in tech, doing software sales for about the last 6 years.
Cool.
And had a lot of savings, and fiance wasn't fully on board, but I said, like, I'm going to use all this to do the Bee Gees, and it's going to be a success because I have to make it a success because my back's going to be against the wall. Like, otherwise, how will we pay the bills?
Right. True.
So,
True enough.
you know, without any experience in the last year, it's been 12 months since we started the project, amazingly enough.
Wow.
We've only been around for 12 months, September to September.
That was my next question as well. How long has this project been about? So 12 months.
So 12 months.
And so you started from, you picked the guys out. You hand selected, you went online and you found the guys online, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys rehearsed. How did you kind of go about like picking who you're going to keep?
Question.
Yeah.
So Ryan is one of our lead vocalists, and he was the lead vocalist of Moonstruck, which is the wedding band that I performed in.
Okay.
So I already had Ryan. Unfortunately, Emma, who's the other vocalist, is a girl, and there's no girls in the Bee Gees. So not to be sexist or anything, but I needed to get the three brothers, so we had to find that extra member. And you know, through that same like Facebook, I don't know what to call it, Facebook page for Bay Area musicians, I ran into Shorty. His name's actually James, but James Shorter. I'm James Garcia, so
okay, got it.
we call him Shorty. Ran into Shorty on that page, and he actually subbed for me for an event where I needed another singer. Mm-hmm. And he kind of got really busy. He works at Tesla as an engineer.
Nice.
Whiz kid. But yeah, he got really busy with Tesla, so I didn't see him for a while. But I messaged him and I said, hey, I'm putting together this Bee Gees group. Would you be interested? He's like, heck yeah, man. I love the Bee Gees. And he knew all the deep cuts too. Like,
oh, wow.
It's not just Staying Alive, More Than a Woman. Like, Spick and Specks, all these, B-sides kind of from the 60s.
Right.
And yeah, so that's how we found Shorty. And I got the singers together first. So I said, doesn't matter if we have an awesome band if the singers don't have it dialed in. So we spent probably 3 or 4 months just memorizing the songs, dialing in all the harmonies, figuring out whose voice worked the best on each song.
Right.
So obviously with the three brothers and the Bee Gees, different tones work for different songs, different ranges. Ryan has that high tenor, so he's really good at doing Robin's parts. Shorty and I are more of the Barry Maurice, so we switch off doing those parts. And it's a really cool dynamic because when you look at the actual Bee Gees, it was really Barry and Robin singing all the leads.
Right.
And then Maurice kind of was writing all the songs, but he didn't get the spotlight quite as much as the other brothers.
Okay.
And there was a documentary that came out where Barry talked about this. He's the last surviving brother. So Andy, who was a pop star, is dead. Maurice is dead. So is Robin. They've all passed, it's really sad. The documentary is called How Can You Mend a Broken Heart, which is, of course, one of their biggest hits.
Right.
But yeah, he said he really wished, looking back, that his brothers got more of the limelight. So we made it a really big priority in this group to give each singer equal opportunity to, take the lead on each song.
Right. Everyone knows the harmonies are like 3 parts, right?
And I can do, 3 parts. Honestly, sometimes it's more. So,
wow.
So live, they have background vocalists a lot of the time because they'll actually layer like 5 harmonies.
Oh, wow.
And they'll double every part, and that's why the recording sounds so fat.
Right.
So the 3 of us do the best we can to fill out all the parts, and sometimes we'll kind of change it. We'll morph the harmonies to fit in some of the other ones like halfway through the song.
Right.
But we do everything totally live.
No track.
There is some track. Now, we can't afford to hire a 30-piece orchestra.
Well, of course, yeah.
So we do have the orchestra parts tracked, but all the guitars are live, the drums live, minus some percussion. Like sometimes we'll have some congos or something.
Correct.
Bongos. What are these?
Right.
Yeah, that'll be on a track, and that's just because every recording has that, and I feel like that's an integral part of the music. But yeah, until we have the budget to hire maybe 30 more musicians, we do need to have that tracked. But everything else is live. The singing you hear is live. So I'm really proud of that.
That's what's up. That's cool. Where can you be found?
You can find us at bayareabeegees.com. The group is called You Should Be Dancing, and we love to see it. So please do.
Nice.
We play at a lot of theaters too. I always make the joke, where you should be dancing, so feel free to stand up, go in the aisles. We're not you should be sitting, but obviously when we want you to be comfortable too. So a little bit for everybody.
Okay.
But yeah, bayareabeegees.com. We are a Bay Area band. All the guys are from here. So really easy to remember. It's the Bee Gees, and we're from the Bay Area. So bayareabeegees.com is where you can find all of our shows.
Nice. Where do you guys see this thing going? Like in terms of where you're trying to take it?
Yeah, I mean, to me, the sky's the limit. I've really been trying to push, like, how far can a tribute band go? So that's the crazy thing. We were supposed to do a show in Vegas, but there were some politics involved. There's been a group in Vegas for about 20 years called the Australian Bee Gees. And they have a residency there.
Oh.
So they're kind of, and I don't want to force them out either. Like, the more Bee Gees, the better, in my opinion. I want to keep the music alive. But yeah, that's the hard thing. Is if we wanted to play in Vegas, we're kind of stepping on some shoes. There's another group called Bee Gees Gold that's really good. I love those guys. From what I've seen on YouTube, I haven't had the pleasure to see them live yet. But they're also from Vegas, but they tour nationally. There's also a group called Staying Alive in Canada.
Oh, wow.
But that's really it. And we're the only Bee Gees tribute band from California. That was another inspiration to create the group. Is, I don't know, you want to fill a need that's not present.
California.
And I said, well, first I looked at the Bay Area. There was no Bee Gees tribute band. Then I looked at California. There's no Bee Gees tribute band. So we're the only one native to California. So I'm proud of that. But at the end of the day, I'm glad there's other bands out there spreading the word. Sometimes there's clashes. We're doing a show in Fresno.
Nice.
This week.
Nice.
And Bee Gees Gold just played there, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago. So, that might impact ticket sales, but whatever, it happens.
Right.
But yeah, it's an honor to be one of the few. I think it's really hard music to sing. We've performed once or twice a weekend, every weekend for the last 12 months, and that's how we're pushing the band. I told you sky's the limit. We went from never performing a show to playing at Bimbo's 365 Club
huge.
For like 800 people. We've done shows at the Gallo Center in Modesto for 1,300 people.
Wow.
We just played at the House of Blues in San Diego.
That's huge.
We're playing the Regency Ballroom in San Francisco, which I've seen some of my favorite bands. Speaking of falsettos, The Darkness, giving a shout out to Justin Hawkins. I Believe in a Thing Called Love, if anybody knows that song. Incredible. I saw them there for the first time, and I never thought I would ever be on that stage. So sometimes we're in the green room, and they have the set list from bands that have played there before. Right. And I see names like, I don't know, Alice Cooper.
Oh, nice. Big names.
Kool and the Gang, whatever. And it's just like, wow, I can't believe we're playing on the same stage.
You sent a shiver up and down everybody's spine who was just listening to you sing right now. I believe in the dream. You definitely believe in the dream. I'm so happy for you. I hope you guys take it all the way through the roof, and there's many more things to come down your pipeline. We'll be right back. We're going to take a short break. I'm Kimball Hooker on Season 3 with James Garcia. We'll be right back.
Thank you to the City of Montessorino for their continued support of KCAT Public Media. The City of Montessorino has enabled KCAT to inspire, educate, entertain, and inform our community through the magic of television and digital media for over 38 years. Thank you.
Well, welcome back to the Kimball Hooker Show. I'm Kimball Hooker. We're here with my special guest, Mr. James Garcia. We're here speaking about the tribute to the Bee Gees, which is a legendary act. We're going to go over some things right now. I have some questions, and I know you guys are all waiting, but I'm going to ask some serious questions right now. James, talk to us a little bit about like the behind the scenes that people don't see, like the business aspect of it.
Yeah, that's certainly the toughest part. You win some and you lose some. For this project, I've never formed an LLC before, but I had to get that done. there's like obviously royalties and stuff that we have to pay out to Barry Gibb and Robin's estate and Maurice's estate every time we do a performance. Luckily, that side of things is normally handled by the venues, so that's convenient. But yeah, getting our name trademarked, doing all the marketing, we had to do all these promotional pictures. I had to create the brand that I wanted to build.
Wow.
So, obviously we dress up, and we try to fit the theme of the Bee Gees, but we're not the Bee Gees, and we never will be. So we're a tribute to the music, but we're not trying to like directly imitate them or anything like that. Like nobody's going on and saying like, I'm Barry Gibb. We're not Elvis impersonators. That's not what we're doing. So we really try to put our own spin and unique flavor. In fact, you come to the show and we are a Bee Gees tribute primarily, but our name is You Should Be Dancing, and we try to keep the people dancing. So sometimes that means incorporating some other songs. And luckily, the Bee Gees wrote a ton of music for other artists. People don't know, like Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, Barbra Streisand, Yvonne Elliman, their younger brother Andy Gibb, Celine Dion. Like it's incredible. At one point, they had 6 #1 hits. But we'll also throw in songs from like Kiss. I call it Kisco.
Okay.
We'll do I Was Made for Loving You. We'll do some Prince songs. I Want to Be Your Lover. Basically, we seek out songs that have harmonies and that have falsettos. And do they have energy? Can we incorporate that into our set list? Lenny Kravitz, for example.
Nice. We'll
do It Ain't Over Till It's Over, which has a great like ballady disco vibe. The theme is like fun and sexy. And while thematically, I think we're more in line with the 70s, like peak of the era disco Bee Gees.
Got it.
There's so much more than that. And like that's what sells. So that's what I have to market, because the average fan only really knows what I sang earlier, Staying Alive, You Should Be Dancing. But they have so many beautiful hits that so many people love, like Words, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart?
Wow.
To Love Somebody.
Take people back, yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, the era from 68 to maybe 72 is probably my favorite. And like the theme of the band and how they sound, it was almost more similar to the Beatles and kind of the that era of music. So.
Right. So speaking of that, when you guys actually sing those songs like that, what are some of the compliments that you guys get, or comments?
The biggest one we get is like, oh my God, I never thought I would hear those songs again, because there's not a lot of bands doing these songs. People will cry, they'll sing along to the music.
Wow.
And when we see
that's
that,
gotta
like,
feel good.
It feels amazing. People say like, you brought me back to my high school years, or that was my wedding song.
Right.
It's beautiful and it's generational. That's what I like the most, is that we have grandparents there, we have parents there, we have the grandkids, we have the kids.
Wow.
And they all know the songs. And even if they don't, like, they're learning it for the first time. And so many young people come up to me and they're like, dude, I didn't think, I knew about the Bee Gees, but I didn't think that was for me. But like, after seeing your show, like, the Bee Gees that's the song to listen to, that's the group.
Right.
So
yeah, it brings a lot of people together, for sure.
Brings the people together. Every song is really pretty uplifting. Messages about love and family and togetherness. So.
Right. That's cool. So you mentioned earlier, you guys practice a lot, or just a couple times a week, or?
When we first got started, we were meeting 3, 4, 5 times a week. But once we got it dialed down, and we have a pretty large repertoire. We have probably 50 songs now that we can interchange.
Wow.
Normally our sets last about 2 hours and 15 minutes to 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Sometimes we'll cut it short to 2 hours if we're playing in more of a club environment and it's just bang, bang, bang. But yeah, we have quite the repertoire, and occasionally we still add new songs.
Right.
But we've gotten to the point of trust with the band and accountability. We're all just like, hey guys, I want to play this song next week. Can we all learn it? And then everybody says, sure, we'll learn the parts. We show up to sound check, and we'll just perform it in sound check for the first time ever, and then we go out on stage and perform it. So
spontaneous.
A little spontaneous, but it's good. We want to mix it up, because when you play in the same market, like in SF or San Jose, 3-4 times a year, we don't want them to hear the same set every time.
Every show's different.
Every show's different.
Got it. So in terms of like the dress, you guys dress the same, different?
So we do at least one costume change every performance. But we have about 8 different outfits now, and I love it. I
noticed you got your hair laid too.
I probably spent we use Mane and Tail. That's our sponsor.
Right.
For luscious stallionaire hair.
Right.
Always use mane and tail. We're not.
That was a plug.
Yeah, that was a plug. Mane and tail. If you want to sponsor the band, we'd appreciate it.
Pun intended.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool. So you guys rehearse on the regular, and then as far as like the guys, do they get along?
So we don't rehearse on the regular anymore. Now it's like the demand for the band has skyrocketed. We're maybe doing 2-3 shows a week sometimes. So the rehearsals are the performances at this point. And speaking of demand, like the guys can't even fit into their schedules. So there's only 3 brothers in the Bee Gees, but they have a 4th brother, Andy. We're fortunate enough to have 6 brothers. So I've actually never missed a performance. But Ryan and Shorty have demanding jobs. Sometimes they have to travel. So we do have subs. So shout out to Zeke and Danny and Carl, who are our amazing subs. So if anybody's seen Danny, Zeke, or Carl, you won't notice the difference. Every singer in the band's incredible. We have some subs in the instrumentals too, but for the most part, it's almost always the core 7 guys.
All right, and all you guys sing the same songs, or do you guys interchange the songs?
Good question. Everybody has their own strengths and weaknesses. So no matter if we change out the guys ever, we know what songs they're good on, and we can shuffle it around. So if Ryan's sick and Zeke needs to step up to the plate and sing Ryan's songs, we know that we have Zeke for that. If Shorty's sick or he has to travel for Tesla, we know like Danny can cover all those songs. So we have like the perfect fit for each member. If lightning strikes or somebody gets sick and
there's no lightning.
Yeah. Well, except when we bring the thunder.
Yeah, when they bring the thunder, that's different. Yeah, now that's cool. So are there any places that you guys like are targeting, looking, trying to take the whole act?
Yeah, so really I've tried to corner all of California.
Mm-hmm.
We started with the Bay Area. We are You Should Be Dancing, the Bay Area Bee Gees. So we started with the Bay Area, but then we expanded to Sacramento. We've played in Roseville.
Oh, nice.
We just started going into more of the Valley, so we did Modesto. We're doing Stockton. We're doing Fresno. We're playing... we've done Napa, we've done Sonoma County,
nice.
Novato, so Marin County. We've gone to San Diego. We're doing Ramona. We've done Irvine, Santa Ana. We haven't really done Hollywood yet, but we've done Riverside, California.
SoCal, okay.
So there's still places we haven't touched, and we've done a lot of shows. But yeah, we're working our way. We're thinking about expanding next year. We might do some shows in Seattle. We're looking at
nice.
The Portland area in Oregon, maybe some shows in Arizona.
It's growing.
God willing, we'll maybe make our way to Vegas eventually.
Right. It's growing.
But the group is certainly growing.
Who's the manager?
It's me.
You're it.
I wear every hat. I book the shows. I promote the shows. I do all of our marketing. I built our website. I'm doing our social media management. So if you ever talk to the Bay Area Bee Gees or You Should Be Dancing on Instagram or Facebook, hello.
It's James.
It's James. I've also self-financed the band, so the band works on the Bank of James. And what we've really tried to do is, you can't wait for opportunities to come to you, so I had to create the opportunities myself. How do we blow up the band as fast as possible and get to the biggest audience? Sometimes I was doing free performances, but sometimes that involves me renting a venue and just taking a risk.
Right.
So I'll front the cash to rent the venue, to hire the staff. It's cool. I feel like I'm helping the local economy. People go to restaurants. People rent hotels to see the show. It's really cool. But it comes with its own stresses, right? We have to sell the tickets. True. We have to make that money back. I still have to pay the band regardless of, whether or not the show is a success or not. And for the most part, we've been having absolutely amazing success. Like, I've been blown away by how many shows have sold out, how many shows have been, very close to selling out. But there's been a few, like, when we went to Riverside, you wouldn't know it wasn't a financial success because there was a lot of people there, but just the cost of marketing to get people to the show really impacted the finances. So at this point in time, it's more like a passion project. I'm kind of just breaking even. Hopefully in the long run, I can make some money too. Right now I'm just paying the band, but yeah, I'm essentially working for free to fulfill the vision of the band, which is all that matters to me. Quick plug. You guys know Ridley Scott, the director of Alien?
Yes.
He was recently announced as the director to a Bee Gees biopic that's coming out. So the Elton John movie came out recently. There was also the Queen movie. Now we're going to have a Bee Gees movie.
Oh, wow.
So,
cool.
Whether aliens will make an appearance, I don't know.
We don't know. We got to wait and see.
Maybe the Blade Runner will be in it. But yeah, so Ridley Scott is directing a Bee Gees movie with a title that I am really a big fan of. The movie is going to be called You Should Be Dancing.
Oh, wow.
So I don't think we could have picked a better name
Right.
and a better time to do this group. So I'm hoping that movie really blows up the popularity, especially with the younger crowd, because I feel like all the young kids, they know the Beatles, they all know the Rolling Stones, things
Right.
like that. I don't think there's quite as big of an audience in the younger generation. I mean, we see them at the shows, but yeah, I think for the longevity of the project, we really need to focus on, bring your grandkids to the show, bring your kids to the show, because yeah, if we want to do this for the next 10, 20 years and be like Super Diamond, who's been doing Neil Diamond for 30 years, we got to get the kids involved a little bit.
Big vision.
I welcome the movie, and I love the name. Great choice, Ridley.
Plug yourself one more time. Where can you be found?
BayAreaBeeGees.com. And for those of you in Los Gatos, one of our biggest shows of the whole year is coming up. It's going to be at the San Jose Center for the Performing Arts, and that is going to be November 15th. Again, San Jose Center for the Performing Arts, November 15th. And extra special secret information, we're about to do a promotion. It's going to be 25% off the tickets. It's going to be a flash sale. It's only going to be available for about 2 weeks, but I hope to get that set up hopefully by this Friday. And the code is going to be BG, 4 letters, BGEE.
Nice.
BGEE. If you use that code at checkout, you will be able to get 25% off your tickets. And there's a big range. So the show starts at I think it's like $25.
Right.
And then if you want to be in the front row, it goes all the way up to like $100. That is a lot of money. I think the show is worth it. I think those seats are actually gone already. I was amazed. Those ones went first. I myself, I'd go for the $25 seats, but people want to be in the front. But yeah, we don't want to exclude anybody else. But running a venue like the San Jose Center for Performing Arts costs a lot of money. The advertising costs a lot of money, so we do have to make sure that we don't bury ourselves alive, so to speak. And I need to pay the band. But super excited about the show. Absolutely incredible opportunity for us. Every guy in the band, super excited. We couldn't be more proud of everything that we've done, and we couldn't be more thankful for the fans. So thank you to the fans for coming out. We have like super groups. There's a fan group called the Beehive. These ladies go to every show, and ladies and gents.
Super fans.
Super fans. So thank you to the super fans. But yeah, we see the same 10, 15 people at every single show.
Nice.
And to have
followers.
It's incredible.
Right.
You think, sometimes I forget. I'm like, am I actually the Bee Gees? But no. Nothing can come close to the real Bee Gees. Barry Gibb, we love you. Thank you for writing these amazing songs. Thank you to your brothers for writing these amazing songs. And yeah, all we really hope to do is honor the music, honor the legacy, and hopefully keep the music alive for the next generations.
Nice. So some of your shows, are you dealing with promoters, or are you the promoter?
Sometimes we deal with the promoters. I'd say 75% of the time, I'm the promoter. And up to this year, I mentioned we've only been around about 12 months. I never promoted a show in my life. I just said, I really believe in the product. I believe in my marketing. Let's go do these shows. And it's been a tremendous success. Haven't had any problem filling the seats.
Right.
People love the Bee Gees. That's the great thing. I am an original artist. I mentioned I play some other instruments. I have a solo album on Spotify under the name Flavor of the Week. If you want to look up the album Waterfalls by Flavor of the Week, you can find my original music.
Support this man, James. I listen, I already know it's good. I haven't even heard it, and I know it's good. You got an amazing voice. Your mind is all over the place with great ideas, I might add. Great ideas. And the way you're displaying everything right now, I only see nothing but great things coming for your way.
I hope so.
For sure.
What I really like about this project is that I've been able to ask some other groups to be openers for us and give them publicity.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can I boost my friends' careers. So I have friends that have created their own tribute acts now, doing No Doubt, Gwen Stefani.
Nice.
There's an originals group called the Fell Swoop that's opening for us October 19th in San Francisco at the Regency Ballroom. Sorry, another plug.
Right.
But I saw these guys performing at the Independent when I went to see a band that I really like, and I was blown away. And they're all local. And I said, you guys have to open for us. So, yeah, I love the opportunity to help other bands too. So people come to see our show, but then they're introduced to new original music as well. So
Right.
you come for these covers, but then you walk away with a brand new band that you never heard of that now you love. So
Right.
that's rewarding.
Big dreams. Big dreams. Listen, we don't have a whole lot of time. You've covered a lot of ground. Is there anything else you wanted to add to this interview?
I do want to say thank you to the guys in the band. I wish they could be here today. Honored to be the spokesman. Special thanks to my fiance, who has had my back in all of this. Not always. I don't want to say she's reluctant. She's definitely been supportive. But, there's a lot of risks that I've undertaken to get this project going. But to me, it's been completely worth it. I fulfilled my dreams. I never thought I would get to play on these stages that we're playing. And I couldn't ask for better music. Again, none of this is possible without the Bee Gees for writing the songs in the first place. So yeah, I incredibly grateful. That's all I want to say.
James, it's a pleasure having you. I'm Kimball Hooker on the Kimball Hooker Show. Guys, go check them out. Plug yourself one more time before we get out of here.
Yeah. Next 2 shows I want everybody to go to. October 19th in San Francisco at the Regency Ballroom. And then the other one is San Jose Center for the Performing Arts on November 15th. And again, you can find us at bayareabeegees.com. There's links to our social media pages. But just in case, I'll tell you what those are. On Instagram, it's also just Bay Area Bee Gees. So at Bay Area Bee Gees, you'll find us. And if you want to find us on Facebook, all you have to do is look up You Should Be Dancing, a tribute to the Bee Gees.
You Should Be Dancing on the Kimball Hooker Show. Thank you, James, for being my special guest. Pleasure. We're going to check you guys out. And until next time, we'll see you back on season 3.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
You just heard the Kimball Hooker Show here on KCAT Radio. Explore all our KCAT original programming at kcat.org/radio.